we ended up at a hotel in Queens. With that being said, when I got into the hotel, I was like, okay, so am I going back home now? And he was like, no. As far as like the in-between conversations, like it wasn't much of it because it was nerve-wracking. It was like, I was told to drop your head. Me knowing how it was or whatever the case is, I necessarily didn't want to be around this dude at all. What made everything kind of transpire is because he told me that he was going to tell my family about me being gay. And for me and my family, that would have probably been the biggest, like, falling out. It would have been a whole issue. And at the time, I'm 17. I have nowhere to stay for my own, or whatever the case is. With that being said, one thing led to the next, to where it's like I wasn't able to leave or get home until I did what he told me to do. Even so, when you got to the
hotel, you say you weren't able to leave.
Yeah, like we was in Queens at the time. Like my mom, she had gave him money because she was giving him money as well. So I was the one that had the funds on me.
So your mom gave him the money?
Correct. And I'm gonna just point out, like my mom, like at the time, still at that time, she didn't know anything that was happening. So one thing led to the next, to the point where it's like, he did what he did, and I don't know why people would think that I'm lying, because for me to sit here and make up such a drastic story is ridiculous.
What did he do to you?
To the point.
You say he did what he did, but please tell the world what he did to you.
So he raped me, like he molested me. Like, it was to the point where it's like, even before he started it, he was trying to find a condom and couldn't find one, and he reached for a plastic bag.
What?
I don't
what?
Sit here and say shit like that. Like, first of all, my mom didn't know what was happening. My mom found out. My mom didn't even know I was gay. My mom didn't find out that I was gay until years after this.
God Almighty, man. God Almighty. The blood of Jesus is against that man. May I tell you, hey, me say this is a spiritual warfare, and me I tell you, it's God about the devil, but the blood of Jesus is against that man. He held you down and raped and graped you.
And there's a few things that, so what made me kind of keep quiet about it, aside from my family or whatever the case is, it was like his way of trying to keep me quiet about the situation at the time. I think after the situation, he had sent my mother money to give to me. Like he just went on like it wasn't an issue. He was texting me, still trying to talk to me or whatever the case is. And it was just like, for me, I was just traumatized that it happened, because, yeah, I'm gay, bisexual, but I didn't ask for this man to do what he did.
So he knew that you were gay or bisexual, and he took that to his advantage because you came from a Jamaican household. So he know you wouldn't want to talk about it.
He knew I didn't want to talk about it, because when we was in that Miami trip and he pointed it out, the whole conversation that was had in that gas station was the fact that I did not want my family to know about it.
So
I didn't tell my mother about it until a year and a half after I came out to my mother. I came out to my mother after COVID, the end of the 2020-21. And then I didn't speak about that situation until after, and I just spoke about it because growing up, like, it was stuff to where my mom went through something like that. So when I felt comfortable enough, it was like she was the only person I could talk to about it. And I wasn't talking to her about it to sit here and go through all of this. I was talking to her to get it off my chest. See, like, everybody, like, if people know that my grandmother, my family that I come from, it is strict. Like, certain things they don't play with.
No, I'm from Jamaica, so I understand. people who's not from Jamaica may not understand, but a Jamaica me come from. So me understand what you mean when you're saying you come from a strict family who would probably be against, you know, who you are. So me understand and me get it. And that's why even me as a Jamaican woman who's always advocating and fighting for my fans who are gay, I'm happy you found comfort in me to want to talk to me about it.
And one of the reasons why I even choose to speak up about it now is because, like I said, I didn't want anyone to know. I wasn't ready to sit here and talk about this. When this came out, the person that called me was a family friend, and what she was speaking, it made it seem like she knew what happened. So I felt a little comfortable telling her, but I didn't know I was being recorded. I didn't know I was gonna wake up to my voice all over social media. I didn't sit here and ask for this.
You didn't.
I said to myself for years, because I know how it is. Like, people speak up, and the first thing is I'm looking in the comments, it's like, yeah, I'm gay, but that don't mean that's the right for me to be molested or
it's not
raped by somebody. Like,
it's not. It didn't give him any right to rape you, and I'm so sorry you went through that as a child. I'm so sorry.
My thing about it, while I'm speaking, even more while I'm speaking about it now, is because with that recording that's sent out against, because I did not sit there and know that she was recording me. So with that recording and everybody coming up with their own assumptions and dragging my sister and my mother in it, and it's just like, my mother really ain't know. The same people that he just paid to go see my grandmother didn't know until yesterday.
Wow.
I begged my mother not to say nothing because I didn't want to go through this. I'm a very quiet and reserved person, and this is a lot of attention for no reason. And not for no reason, but it's just like, I refuse to sit there and have what was done to me twist and turn and chopped and screwed when that wasn't how it is. He know exactly what he did. And it's like, if he's doing it to other people, why is it so hard to believe that this is something that he did? Like, at the time, he was using my mother for money, so he kept her close. So he was making sure he was in her ear.
I want you to say that, just that one line again. He was using your mother for what?
He was using my mother for money. When she stopped sending the money, he got irritated. And that's around the same time when he was sitting there blasting and going
because
over.
That's what he goes around and do to people. He did the same thing to me.
And
use you for money, and when you realize that he's a liar and he's a manipulator and he's trying to use you, then he wants to tarnish you. When he can't have his way with you, he try to tear you down.
And anybody that know me, I didn't do this. I'm not doing this for no recognition or no money. If that's the case, I would have did this when it happened. Everybody that know family that I come from, my mother got money. My mother loaded. Same reason why he wanted to be around her. The same reason why he wanted to sit there and be close. I just don't like how it was approached, because I feel like if that same person that recorded me would have just pulled me aside and called me and be like, yo, so he did this to a few other people. Like, you feel like you're ready to speak about it? Let me decide what I want to talk about. It's my pain. It's my trauma.
So you kept that pain and you didn't talk about it. It was until that the recording that I played with the person that you didn't know.
I woke up and I see the recording all over and people DMing me and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, where is this coming from? And this is exactly why most people don't get up and talk about certain stuff that they go through, because it's always like, you can't put a time when somebody's going to speak up on their trauma and when they was hurt, when they was put in a position where they, bro, like, and then knowing that you gay on top of it, ain't nobody going to believe you, ain't nobody going to sit there. Like, it took me a time to tell my mother, and it was a process, because first I had to come out and tell her that I was gay.
What is your...
Because I couldn't live with knowing that certain... I don't like when things are used or held above me. Like, I understand what everybody was trying to do with the recordings and stuff like that. I just felt like I should have had the space to properly be able to do this and explain what it was because I wasn't ready. This recording surfaced months ago. I've been blocking and removing people from my page because my peace is getting disrupted. I had to move. I moved from New York to Florida. When this recording came out, it was in Florida, and when I figured out, somebody mentioned that he lives in Florida. Where do you think I'm at now? I moved. The whole point is to stay away from this man, to stay off his radar. I have him blocked on everything for a reason.
What has your life been like after he did that to you? Why do you keep moving? Are you still afraid of him? Because I'm here to tell you, let me tell you something. I'm here to tell you there's nothing to be afraid of. He's a liar. He's a scammer. He ain't no fucking Obia man. Him can't do you nothing. He's not talking to no spirit. There's one God. Do not let him put no fear into you. Don't make him put no fear into you.
Now that I'm older, I realize what you're saying, but when I was younger, and him prophesizing certain things and predicting certain things or being right with certain things.
He didn't predict this, did he? Did he predict that you are going to get the strength one day to come out and talk your truth? Did he predict this?
I don't think he ever thought that I would have came out and said something.
Okay. Don't let him tell you him can predict nothing because him couldn't predict him own future. Him never predicts that when him come out on social media and try to go up against me that all of this would have come back around at his footstep. Him never predict this. He used what because let me tell you something. I met that man as a pastor. I tell people this already and I don't know if they believe me. Meet him as a Pastor Smith. And he came around me and him try to manipulate people's mind. All of the people that is picking up for him is because the same thing he did to you, he's doing to them, which is telling them things and they believe it. Say, oh, him a prophet, him can see things and see in the future. I'm a spirit. Him a Obia man, me don't want him Obia me, so them a pick up for him. He uses that as his power. Don't make him make you feel like, say, if him did a pray to some spirit, what make the spirit can't do nothing for him? Don't make him put no fear in you and you move up and down and afraid of him. He can't do nothing to you. God is above mankind. You hear me? I've never been, I'm telling you, say.
There's people just gotta understand sometimes when it comes to certain things like this, it's a lot more that comes to it than just speaking out. It's the embarrassment that comes with it. It's the shame. It's the
I know.
It's people sitting there telling that you lying. Like,
let me tell you something. I don't know you. I can see the hurt in your eyes. I can see the embarrassment, but there's nothing to be ashamed of because you were Grape, molested as a child. It was something that was taken from you. You didn't have control of it. It wasn't nothing that you did to yourself. But now that you're older and now that you're wiser, now that you're a man, you know what I'm saying? Now you're speaking your truth and you're living in your truth. Don't stay home and make nobody make you sad and depressed. This is your truth. This is your story. So I'm happy that you were willing to tell your story for yourself. The only thing, I'm sorry that you didn't report it because people like that deserve to be off the streets.
If I would have sat there and reported it, my whole family would have found out and it would have been sad to say, and it's not a bash against my family, but they really do look at how they're viewed. So not only would it put me on the spotlight, but it would have put a spotlight on my family too.
Wow.
Literally,
it's
my
not.
family didn't find out this until yesterday. The only person I knew was my mom, and the same person that reported it, me and my mom, was my mom's friend, and I really thought we were. For me to sit there and open up to her about that, I thought we was on a different level. You know, I didn't expect for this to happen. I wasn't. I'm
proud of your, big up to your mom because I'm proud of your mom for supporting you. Like for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, from I told her she's made it easier living with that. Because it's easier to relate.
I feel like you still should report it. I feel like if you put it into the law's hand, they will be able to pull the footage from that hotel. I feel like you should still be able to report it.
Like, these simple things like that, footage, camera, all of that can be pulled up.
Yes.
It's a shame that I don't have my other, The phone that I had back then, I don't have it no more. So even the messages between us and stuff like that.
The phone company can get back the message. That the phone all of what you're saying, you may not be able to get it back, but once you start that case, everything will come full circle. The police have a way of finding everything. That's not even your worry. Your worry is to make that first move of reporting it.
I just feel like it has to stop.
It has to stop, and it shouldn't have started.
Multiple people are speaking about the same thing with this dude.
And people still supporting him.
These are all the people that he's been around. You can't all be sitting here saying the same thing about the one person.
And there's so many other people who's afraid to come forward and speak.
I was scared too. I got forced to come out and speak. I wasn't ready to speak what happened. And I know that, I guess I probably made me look bad, but it's what I went through. So it's like, I won't, and I'm not going to sit there and let everybody lie on or try to twist and turn what I've been through. Like, I have no reason to be sitting here and lying. And these stories that everybody coming up with is real far-fetched. Because even as far as my mother in Jamaica, like, when me and my mother went to Jamaica, we wasn't dealing with this man. We stayed on a villa the whole time. It was me, my cousin, my sister, and my aunt that live in Jamaica. The second time when my mother went to Jamaica and she happened to glimpse him in Jamaica, I was living in Miami. She was there with my best friend. I wasn't even around her at the time.
What has your life been like after he molested you? Do you live in fear? Like, do you feel like, how are you mentally? How are you?
The fear part of it only comes when I find out that he's even, like, if I find out that we in the same state, it bothers me. If I find out that he has access to see my day-to-day, it bothers me. At the time, I couldn't really do nothing but push through. Like, at the end of the day, people that know me that regardless of what I go through, I'm gonna still get up and still prosper and still push and do what I have to do.
RT molested you, so I'm just saying, I hope people who know you and when they see you, they refer to you as a hero, because that's who you are. This what you're doing is brave. Ain't nobody gonna come out and put them face on social media and talk, say, oh, a man molested them. So RT molested you, him for living a shame. You know for hold on your head and live in a shame. He molested you. RT is the one that should be behind bars for rape you at your age. He's a pedophile. Me tell people that and them talk about, oh, whatever, but you're living in your truth now. Now you're a hero for all the other people that do it, and I hope the other people that he did it to is willing to come out behind you and speak them truth, because I'm more than one person him do it to. So don't make no man make you walk and live in a shame, and him should have live in a shame.
It's easier said than done.
And that's true. That's true.
People don't understand when stuff like that happen, it plays with a part of you, because as a man, like, I'm supposed to stop things like that from happening. I'm supposed to be the person that's not the other way around.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for making it this far with that happening to you. And I don't feel like you should live in any shame for your truth. This is your story. I don't want to keep you. I know today's Sunday. Do you want to say anything else before we go, or?
I just want. I like my peace. I don't like to be bothered, and I feel like having to talk about this repeatedly, having to go through this over and over again, it puts me back in that headspace. Like at this point, I know what I need to do in order to deal with it. I just don't need nobody. Don't need nobody. Don't need nobody to move on my own speed because it's like nobody's not gonna understand how I feel when I get up and I go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Well, thank you for being so brave. You made the first right move of openly want to talk about it. Because, in a sense, I live with it and I eat you out. And, RT is a monster. He's a demon. You are not that person. He mafia live with him demon. He's the devil himself from the pit of hell. So do not let that man let you live in fear. And I'm proud of you. I know you don't want to even break down on social media because you told me you don't want to. But again, I love you. I don't look at you any different or any less. I love you equally, just the same as I love any of my other besties or stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for you. Now you have my number, so we will talk. But publicly, I just want to tell you that you are brave. And anybody see you, that's the energy that they need to give you for being brave to come out and be a voice for the voiceless.
I appreciate it.
I'll call you after this, all right?
All right.
Thank you. There's someone on TikTok named Bino or Beno, I think. Never met him either. But I'm going to use my platform. I'm going to advocate. I have a platform that you wanted. You, RT, wanted my platform for your own evil purposes. But I'm going to use it and do God work. You wanted my platform? Okay. And now you're getting it. Look at God. Just look at God. TikTok, goddamn, 4,800 out on the stay and look on the whole story. Blam them, big up yourself. Pretty Dan, my boss, how it go? Big up yourself. Right there, so blam them that you need to go live with too. Come see them on TikTok and say, RT, I tell you if you say you're there with me, you never meet me yet. Me only glad people say there's a God and see everything and the truth full circle. And see say him is a liar and him is a wicked. So all of the people them will still come talk about, RT and one RT because we not live in a fear. We don't need to stop it because of God. Okay, remember say one God. You can't stay there and take this thing for a joke thing and think I saw this thing I go. All that who live in a fear because of this man, remember say, God is a jealous God. There is only one God and a two God and a three God. So you can't stay there make man and manipulate, you know. You can't stay there. Me never do it, you know. A man run out and try to tarnish me and him tell lie and him spin and him go, but you live to see with the two eye. Say God is above man. That me I tell you now.